Yeah, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Alexandra. I'm brand manager at YozmaTalk, and this webinar plus lecture is brought to you by YozmaTalk. We've got here people who are our employee and who are just from our community. It's really nice to see you and great to have you here. Today, we also have our lecturer, our speaker. This is Khachik, who have created a beautiful presentation and beautiful interaction for you. So you have a live chat and also you have a button to join this session with your voice. But I suggest to keep it while the Hachuk has his lecture to the questions in the chat. You can ask anything you'd like and he will answer that. And after the lecture, we can have open QA session. And also after that, this workshop is done, I'm going to introduce to you a closed community that's called 10x Dev, and we opened our applications right now. So it's really great to have you here, guys. Stay tuned, stay till the end. Don't hesitate to ask questions, to write in the chat, to express your opinions as well. Have a great webinar, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Sasha. Hey, everyone. So, as Alexandra introduced me, I'm Khachik. I am from Armenia. I'm a full stack developer from Premise. So, today we will have a great introducing and a cooking lecture about AI workflow and everything which happens behind the scene and how you can use it in your routines. So let's dive in. So it's a little information about me. So I'm a PHP developer mainly in backend side. I love it the most. And the previous 2 years, I started to use AI that increased my daily productivity so I can get more scope in my daily tasks, work in the different projects in the same time. And it's very interesting how the industry is changing in day by day because every day something new released. So an example, 2 days ago, Anthropic released that 8 version of the Opus, and it's great thing. So what about our webinar? We will discuss cloud desktop, prompt engineering, how you can do your work more easily, clear, and effective. We will discuss about steps, how the best way you can go through the daily routines. A little tips from my side, how you can just writing, testing, or what tools will be the best to use or know in these days. And if we will have time and I will discuss about agents and sub-agents, it's more professional and high level things. And I think we will go through it as well.
And also, if you'll have any suggestions, you can also type in the chat.
So let's dive in. AI in the past 2 years, AI grows and grows very quickly. So without AI, our daily works cannot live. So if you don't know AI, let's go through it and find out more for you. So AI, I think everyone is used AI assistants like OpenAI. It's the ChatGPT or Claude Code and Gemini from the Google side. So how it works? When you're typing something, it's go and divide your words by tokening and tokenizing it. And in his memory, when he learned a lot of information from the open internet site, he know everything and every information in the internet. But he has limits. On example, OpenAI limit is ending in January 2026, and after that, he don't know what is going on. AI assistants help us to get any questions and researching answers. An example, when you want to find out something or learning, instead of going Google, you are just typing him an example, how I can do this document, how can create a new document, please do it instead of me. So it's the more productive way in these days to do that. So OpenAI, ChatGPT is the most interesting one because I think that every person in the world used it. It's help to everyone just go and use the free trial version and can chatting a few times. Cloud Code is from Anthropic company. It's mainly for coding and vibe coding. So after AI growth, the new thing is released, new meaning. It's vibe coding where the developers, instead of typing a code, go and open a terminal and just typing prompts. And after that, the AI do his work instead of him. So it's interesting. And I believe we will go through it and it will interest you a lot. So it's have some differences, but I prefer to use ChatGPT. About Codex is the same as ChatGPT, but only going from the coding. So AI is not a replacement for humans because AI cannot think as a human, make creative ideas, do a manual work and set up applications. He can answer you and he can be a tool, a useful tool, which can go with you in through the whole path for your goal, but he don't know the business goals, the context. He can have a limits, and some AIs cost a lot. An example, Claude Code, for that 8. If you enter one large prompt, he can, in a few minutes, waste all your token limits and your subscriptions. So I listed some tools that I used in my daily routines, and you can go and in the Google search them and download for your use. An example, Cloud Desktop from Anthropic is the same Claude Code in the browser, but in your local machine, in your computer. If you download the Cloud Desktop, you can share your documents, any images from your local machine. Gamma is an AI tool which helped for me as example to create this presentation. So I waste a little time for this, but every time you do any work with AI, just go and check what is done. Don't blindly believe AI because he did a lot mistakes in his way. And other tools like Cursor, something more huge than Cloud Code, because behind the scene you can choose a lot of models. An example, the same Cloud Code, OpenAI models. There are more than 100 models which you can switch and use, but every model has his costs and you can should choose the best one. GitHub Copilot is the popular one, is using in the large companies for code reviewing and some things like this. So let's start with Cloud Desktop. Is the tool which everyone who is not familiar with the programming can download and use in his local machine. I use Ubuntu, but so Cloud Desktop is not supported in Ubuntu. So instead of this, I use Cloud Code. He can do similar works as Cloud Desktop, but it not replace him fully. So what things you can do with Cloud Desktop? So as example, for me, I can go and write a new document. I can ask him and give permission to sorting my documents, ordering them. I can ask, please, I have this folder where a lot of things that I don't use and they are very old. Please go through them and erase or organize them by folders and group them. I can ask, I don't have this application and I don't know how to install it. Please help me and write me guide. How can I do it by myself? Or you can say, go and do instead of me. I will give approves, just install the application for me. I use it a lot. So we are smoothly going to Cloud Code is the main topic. Cloud Codes is the application which you can download from GitHub or just by CURL command. It has a free trial and it's free for everyone. But if you want to use for more huge tasks and increase your limits, you can switch to these subscriptions. I will dive deeper in the next slides about this. So let's talk about the prompting in the best practice, how you can decrease your tokens wasting and increase your productivity. In these slides, let's switch to it. At first, I wrote down some examples which you should not to use to your daily prompts. So it's not the best way to go and I have this bag, please fix them, and it's no context. AI don't know what is the bug and or where is the bug, how can reproduce it, or it's something blind for him. And he can do something, but after he finished his work, for you it will be surprising. What you did is nothing. So be clear for your prompting. So an example, refactor the function to use a single wait and error handling for network timeouts. It's the small version. It's not the correct one fully, but we are providing an example how we can, how AI can do it, which tools or practice he can use, but we should give him more context. So I'm going to make it more clear for you and provide you a live prompt what I'm going to write in my active repository in PHP Storm. Okay, I have this PHP Storm repository here. I believe you see this screen as well. So I already installed Claude Code in my local machine. And for me, I can just write Claude and the Cloud are going to open. So I use Opus 4.8. I already updated it. I have Cloud Max, the higher subscription. So I have no token limits, almost no limits. I paid for that a lot. So let's go to the example. I'm going to live prompting it, but I'm not going to type it manually. I prepared the prompt. Give me a second. So let me show a little part of the projects. Here is it in my local machine. That's everything do you see now is writing via AI. I don't write any line of codes. I just do everything by Claude Code. Okay. So I'm going to make some changes in this repository and do this. So an example, what I want. I want to add a new section in my website and I'm going to divide in 3 tasks. So the best practice is in one session you can discuss something, but it's not good to do the 3 things in one session because AI can make mistakes, and after he works in 3 tasks, the context limits can reach and some bad things can happen. So what I'm going to write, but instead of writing, I have this tool. It's for chatting by voice. I can just say something and he will type instead of me. So let's go. So, hey I want to build a new page or section in my website. It will provide some information about bonus and referral system that I'm going to add in our platform. I want to create 3 things. One of them is this section in the main page where we will describe about our function. The second part will be about bonus points and referral links where the user can go through the profile page and create the link which is shareable for all users. The third point, we will create a store where user can buy and waste his tokens. So it's the one part. He pasted. I'm going to continue this. So, and before to perform this prompt, just go and be aware about our projects and all of things and tools. And I'm going to divide these 3 tasks with separate sessions. So please create MD files where you can add information about 3 tasks, and you can use Taskmaster plugin and create task there. So I will talk about Taskmaster. It's a plugin which you can use and download in your Claude Code. The link is here. What is it? It's an application or plugin for Claude Code. It's like a mini Jira or task board in your repository where you can write your mini task, dividing a huge task for mini one. And after a few time or other sessions, came back and say AI to go and get that task and go with it. So my AI already used that plugin and he will prepare 3 different tasks for it. So the one of the best practice will be to say which folders and the styling he can use. But I already have cloud MD files. So let's talk about this. What is it? I will execute this prompt and just discuss about this file. It cannot overview it, but let's go through the plain text. Okay, I can see now. Okay, what is the cloud MD file? You can create it if you have a empty repository without Claude Code. You can open a cloud and write init command. After that, he will go through the whole your project, investigate and review every feature and models that you have in your projects, and create this cloud MD file. So within this file, I saved a lot of information. As you can see, an example, which tools or languages, frameworks I used on it. An example, this project write in Laravel 30 and PHP 8.5 and some tools. Here is comments which I want to the Claude Code be aware, text and styling about how the best way he can write the code about our environment and every tools and text which I don't want to repeat every time. An example, in my project, I want to clear code with PHI standards or PHP standards. And I don't want to every time write him, please keep the standards. Do not create models or models by this way. I'm just going and add this text in this file, within this file. And every time I running a new session, new Claude Code, he will automatically by default read the Cloud MD file, and he will be aware everything is going to our project. But don't create a huge Cloud MD file, because every time he read this, he wastes tokens. An example, when I can write a context command and the Claude Code give me a short recap version in this session, what tokens he already used. An example, I just open a empty session, but he already using 2043 key tokens. An example, he read these agents, these MD files, he know and aware a lot of things. It's a lot, but you can keep it more tight and just include in this file only useful and daily routines tasks. So while our prompt are going live, let's go back to the slides. So we talk about this. Do not do everything in one prompt. Divide or your tasks, or just go and start a new session. So you have three options. When you are going to switch to another task, you can just go and open a new session. The second option, if you have something to do with the second task and you don't want to switch the session because the new session are not aware what happened in the previous session, you can create a handoff file. An example, ask in the current session, AI, please write a recap information about the second task in the MD file, and please save it in the temporary folder, because when we use it and after that the file will be unused. So after he will finish with that, you can open new session, mark this file by this way. I didn't show you. You can open any files. An example, this Cloud MD. Right click, copy path reference, and path repository root. And in your clipboard, you will have the path to your file. An example, I want to copy this file path. I just going and do this. So if I will send this to the Claude Code, he will go and read this file and will be aware about the second task. And after that, he won't waste tokens again to be aware what's happened and what he are going to do in this session. So about context, because the newest version of the Claude Code increased his limits. Every session can have limits in 1 million tokens. Before that, the limit was 200 key tokens. So it's the big context, but when you using the context again and you're reaching the 1 million tokens, the token waste are increasing as well. So my tips and suggestions: do not use the whole context and don't give Claude Code permission to use whole context. There is a meaning. If Claude Code reach 200 key tokens, the best practice will be to go and continue with new sessions, or you can use this command to compact your current conversation with writing compact. This command will go and compact your whole conversation, and in the end you will have 20 key token in your context instead of 200,000. After he reached 200 key tokens, he had a lot of information, and he are getting be more dump and dump because a lot of things, a lot of tasks and read files. So the gold middle is 200 tokens. Below this value, the AI are more smarter. Above, he starting be more dump. So we see your token limits when you're working in the session. Okay, he gave me information and what's done. Let's go through it. I explored the codebase first, then set up bot deliverability. He created 4 MD files, about one task about the home section, second one about profile bonus referral, the third one token store MD. He created 3 tasks and he prioritized it. It's great. So when we are going to go through the tasks, we can just open a new session. An example, as I'm doing now, I can refer to this task and say, Claude Code, please do this task. An example is the short variant. So let's go to the next slide. So we talk about this. If you providing a little context or you are not providing anything, AI should go and review your code, read a lot of huge files to be aware what are going in your projects and what he is going to do. So it's these processes are waste a huge amount of tokens. I see your messages in the chats. No limits. I mean, I have limits, but I didn't reach any limits because I use the max plan. I will show you in the next slide about it. And it have 20 times more token limits than the regular one. So here is about the tokens limits. And I'm going to show you the Claude Code subscriptions. So the free trial, which I mentioned it before, you can use this plan and billing without subscriptions, but it will cost a few times more instead of using a subscription. So my tips, if you are using it daily, and the best way are buy one of these subscriptions, and with subscriptions you will have more token limits. So go ahead. Let's talk Claude Code types and mods. If we go to the terminal, I am using Shift Tab buttons, and as you can see, the type of our terminal, the mode they are running are switching, the accept edits one, plan mode, auto mode on. So what's meaning the planning mode? So we used for our latest prompt, the auto mode. It's like he approving everything automatically, but prevent any vulnerability or security commands, and he do not apply them. He go just without them. If you don't use auto mode, just switching to the default type, as you can see now it's the default type. Every time when AI want to read something or execute some commands, he will type here, are you approve this command execution? And he will provide some information about that. Can I read this file? He will ask. So it's a little bit annoying. And if you believe and trust to your AI, you can just switch to auto mode. But my tips, do not use it every time, because he can do or execute some commands which are not useful, or he can waste a lot of tokens, and you will not be aware about that. So planning mode is for when you have a huge task, as we had. He can first, without any code changes, go to your goal, your task, review everything in your repository that's related to that task, create a plan, create an empty file. He will ask you a few questions about to clarify your goal. An example, he can ask, we had this type of files and these standards, and I don't know which will be better for you to use. And he will provide a three options. An example, he will recommend one from his side and three options additionally. You can just choose one of them, or you can just say all wrong. I will write the correct one, which we are going to use. So if you have a huge task and you not clearly know what are you going to do, and just switch to the planning mode where the AI will not change any line of code. And after you accept the whole plan, every files within the scope the AI going to change, you can switch to auto mode or the just default mode and go through the coding. So here is I listed some commands I use in my daily routines. One of is /goal. When you have something that AI can't understand, and every time you ask him do this, and you are doing something else, but not the right thing, you just type /goal and say, I want to do this or fix this bug. And he will prepare some steps he will going to do, but every time he completed his work, he will continue to check it, test, check if the goal is reached. If not, he will continue to work, and it will be continuously looped until he will finish it. And it's so useful for me to use for a hard task and in the task where AI don't understand or cannot reach your goal. So the resume, it's a simple one. An example, I close this session and I want to go back for that session. I just open a new session with Claude and just typing resume. Here is listed the topics and sessions that I had, and I can just select them by arrows, and I will be in the same session that I had previously. Compact, we talk about this. So about security, I think you heard about this because in the huge companies, there are limits, and it's true because AI can share and learn using your codes. And after that, an example, you provide him a token or sensitive data. An example, your password for the service, asking him to go and do something instead of you. This data AI can share. An example, you integrate the Sentry, it's the logging system, and provide him token. And the second developers are going to use the same prompt and asking, I'm going to add Sentry in my repository. Can you show me how I can do this? And oh wow, he sent your token for him to try it. To prevent this, the cloud have this thing in his settings. You just can go through your account in the settings, privacy. Here there is preferences, and here is an option parameter which you should turn off. So you can read this, allow the use of your chats and coding sessions to train and improve Anthropic AI models. So turning this off, you're preventing AI to learn your code and sharing your tokens and everything. But beside that, you must not to share any sensitive information, any tokens or password to the AI. So if you have some files or folders where the security or tokens are keeping, you can just create a cloud ignore file. I think I have it or not. I think not. You can just create a new file. It's named cloud ignore, and just write something like this. It's like git ignore. I can write, do not read this env file. He won't do that. So next. So I will talk a little bit about agents. I think we have a little time for this, but it's a huge topic and we cannot go through the whole tools and his meaning. So what is the AI agents? An example, if I have a workflow, an example, I'm a full stack developer and I'm doing some stuff every time. An example, I am styling by this way. I'm using this tool. My workflow are starting by this way. I am prompting, I'm reviewing the code, I am testing, and after that, applying the changes. So instead of doing this manually, you can create agents. It's like humans with their professionals. I have some agents in my repository here in Cloud MD folder. Here's my agents. As example, I have a backend agent. It's backend developer. I have a front-end agent. I have a security auditor. So example, it's my team and everyone is working for me. And when I am typing an example, I want to do this and this task about to development and some endpoint in the backend side, AI Cloud Code will automatically understand and use this agent. And in an example, I get to the reviewing step or the testing step. I want to test my program. I will write, please test the projects. And this time the bug finder agent will join our session. His name will appear here and he will work in our projects. An example, the backend agent, what it's writing within his file, his tools, his knowledge, the repositories, the best practice he can use. In the internet, you can search and get agent examples and read the agents and examples. In this repository, there is a ready agents. An example, you can go to the categories, core development, and here is listed some agents. You can just go copy them. An example, no, backend developer. I want backend. I can copy this raw file, paste it in my local machine in my repository, and I will have a backend developer again in my agent list. So you can just go and type in the Google ready Claude Code agents, and this repository and similar ones will be paired. So I will introduce one website as well. It's named Contexts. So an example, you working or starting with the new projects and you want to AI work with the latest version Laravel. It's the framework of the PHP and use the latest and or his best practice tools and meanings. You can just search your topic. An example, I want Laravel context. Just download this file, insert it as MD file, and refer in my local machine. And after reading this file, my AI in the current session will be aware of everything about Laravel, and he can do everything with the best practices. He can waste a lot of tokens in this site. An example, this file will cost us 700,000 tokens. So it's not the best one. So you can just search more tight tar versions and use it for you. About orchestration. It's the great thing you can use in your local machine. I think is the end topic which I am going to provide you information. In my Cloud MD file, I have a section. I will find it now. Just a second. Agents. Okay, I listed here all about my agents, when they can use these agents, when the best time to use an example backend agents when we work in the backend tasks, and AI will automatically detect this and switch to working or continue working with this agent. But the best practice to don't include everything in one Cloud MD file. You can go and just create this MD file separately, copy paste this information there, and just mention about we have this file in this repository. If you want to work with agents, go and read this file. And I can mention this file location here as an example. So I think it's also. Let's summarize everything which we had in this meeting. You can prepare your questions while I am finishing my presentation and write in the chat. I will be happy to answer for them and give you some tips or something from my side. So what's AI? You should work and use AI in your daily routines because it increases your productivity and your work quality. You shouldn't blindly believe and trust AI. Please, after AI finished his work, changes some files, go and review everything he has done. Validate and do not paste any security data to Claude Code or any AI, your passwords, your tokens. And I will provide one thing more. It's a YouTuber that I am followed. You can go to the YouTube and type the Matt Pocock. He is the most popular Cloud Code developer. He have guides about agents, Cloud Code skills that I watched, and he had a lot of good videos about Cloud Code and AI engineering. And I suggest you to follow him and watch every new videos. An example, he have a new cloud review agent which responsible for code reviews. So I downloaded it and I'm using it in my current project as well. After I finish something, I'm going to execute the agent and he will review my code after I finished everything.
Thank you, Khachik.
So it's
I
all.
think about that YouTuber, maybe you can send a link here to
Yes.
the chat. And I think it pretty much covers one of the questions we've got here. So how you validate generated code. I'm just going to share it just a sec. Generated code, what is your tips for it? I think that you pretty much covered it with that agent. Maybe you use something else as well. How do you usually validate?
Yeah. A few words. If I will continue this prompt and I will ask AI to start working, in this terminal will appear changes. And after he finished everything, you can go to the GitHub extension and see what huge files he changes. An example, there is a lot. So it's not best practice to work this way because it's only example. If we have as much files as you can see, the best practice to don't continue with this and ask AI remove these changes in REST files because it's a huge implementation. You can ask him divide and go through the whole changes within separate PRs or commits, but in my daily work, I am going through these old files and checking what actually was changes. It's annoying, but you cannot do nothing more. You can have reviewer agents, as I said before. The agent can review everything and make it pretty well, but you should do manual checking because he can use functions that are even not exist in your repository. This happened for me as well. So it's
It's a
all.
human touch. Yeah, AI is
Yeah.
AI. Thank you. So the next question, I'm just gonna translate them. I mean, not translate, but make them appear on the screen. So skill or agents, difference or what better for you and why?
Skills or agents, I use the both because skills are responsible for one thing, agents for another. I will say in few words because it's not included in our webinar. Agents are as a human with their specialized within one thing, and they can work, an example, with backend or testing. And they are doing something with working in your repository. Skills is like a mini agents or one side of it, one part of it. An example, I have skill. An example, when I am writing testing, he can run that environment in the background, and I can immediately go and test it, and I can not write again, please, after I write the test word, please run the dev environment, and every time I finish something, ask him again. And after that, by the description, I will show one skill. The skills have descriptions and descriptions when and why the skill should be invoked in our session. You can write as I mentioned here. So it's all because it's a huge and topic and I cannot describe it now.
You can always ask in the chat which topics you want for us to prepare. We have a lot of speakers, or maybe you
Yes, you
want to
can
share
ask.
something. We have one question and one small tip. Just gonna go with the question. So, how's your architect agent works? Basic explanation, if you can. I think the one
Okay,
that you mentioned.
yes. it's a huge agents because he have some steps included within his MD file. An example, I have architects, and here describe the steps. An example, first step, go and review all my code, write a architecture, a structure for the upcoming code. Please write a step-by-step testing document, how we are going to test this file, what files and which files we are going to change and why, for what our projects, and which agents he can include it in these processes. It's small examples. There is a lot of examples and files they are providing for him. So you can just go to the repository. I will send the link as well in the chat. It's about sub-agents. You can download one of them and play with them. About the context, I will send it as well.
Yeah, we also got a question, tools that you use and if you can share them.
Yeah.
Regarding that, also we've got a tip that before running Claude, it's better to, I'm not sure, stage previous changed files, so it is easier to see new changes.
Yeah, it is. Because we did our work in the simple way, because it will waste a lot of time in our webinar.
Yeah. So the time is pressing us, and I think I'll share my screen as well. But if you have any questions, you can just type in them in the chat. What I want to tell you about, as we were talking a lot about capability, and Khachik was talking about capability as well. And at Yozma, we believe that AI doesn't replace engineers, just multiplies their capability. It means if like 10 years ago, we needed 10 engineers to do one task. Right now, we can use one engineer who has AI skills, AI agent optimizations, etc. And we are Ukrainian founded company, and we have pro-Ukrainian position, and that's we have a lot of Ukrainian employees in our company, and we are launching something huge. It's a closed community for 10x developers. But if you're not from Ukraine, don't close this meeting yet, because we have our lecturers and curators and speakers open roles. But I'm gonna share my screen as well, just to let you know real quickly what's that and why we're even talking about that. So as I mentioned, 10x dev, this is, let's see about the problem. So the market already shifted. It was shifting for a few years before, but the clients and everything that we see right now on the market demands that clients stopped buying engineers and they started buying capabilities. For example, they're asking how much work this one engineer could create because of AI. AI changed output. And I saw in the chat there were a lot of questions about, well, not a lot of, one question about layoffs and a few comments. And we also believe that layoffs is not because of AI. It's because someone is not ready to full AI usage. Most engineers are not adapting fast enough. If you've been working on your project for 5 and even more years, sometimes you have a lot of workflow that you don't have time. So sometimes a lot of engineers using AI superficially, like just basic prompting or basic Q&A with AI agents, but they are not creating and not redesigning actual workflows around it. So the problem that we are AI users and not AI first engineers mostly, even though there's a lot of opportunities to do that. But there's no right place for learning how to be AI first engineer because there's no place to show how you actually work with AI. No peer feedback, for example. There's no really opportunity to show what you've created and to have feedback with someone, colleagues of yours or some senior engineers as well. And what's on the market that yes, we have LinkedIn communities, we have Discord communities, Telegram communities, etc. But that's open communities and they have a lot of noise, a lot of courses from the teachers to the potential students. It demands a lot of your time. It demands full focus and etc. And 10x Dev is exactly something that closes all those problems right now. Because what is 10x Dev? This is a closed community that we are launching very soon. This is practice over content, so it's not just AI written articles on LinkedIn And this is practice. This is closed over open. So in the open community, there's a lot of noise, a lot of people. They're chatting just to the sake of chatting. And regarding the courses, there always this dividedness between someone who tells you something and someone who learns. And here we want to have a place where senior engineers train senior engineers, share their insights with each other. So it works weekly, bi-weekly, ongoing, and quarterly. So weekly, we will have quizzes for those senior engineers that are created by our handpicked curators and lectors. Bi-weekly, it could be synthetic challenges also shared with the team. And you have, for example, 2 weeks to complete the challenge and then a live demo to show how you created that and to brainstorm with others. Quarterly, we have guest speakers from our personal YozmaTalk network. So this is CTOs of startups or huge companies with PRD and ongoing learning, becoming a better engineer. So what you'll get inside 10x Dev, this is real demos, peer feedback from the senior engineers, weekly quizzes, bi-weekly challenges, and access and visibility, because this is a place where you can also show how you done it, what you've done it. You can share it in your LinkedIn profile. You can double your priceness on the market and of course become measurably better. And as I've mentioned, we've got 4 roles right now. This is members. This is our core base, the engine of the community, and the registration is already opened to become a member. So I will share a QR code and also a link to the chat after these few slides. You are welcome to join. And also curators, that's someone who helps create those quizzes, or those challenges, or maybe share their insights. It's not supposedly, so if members, right now we have focus on Ukraine and members, this is Ukrainian citizens. So curators could be from anywhere in the world if you want to be also a part of something that's going to be huge. Ambassadors, that's someone who is a voice of that community, and lectors, this is exactly international one-time quarterly guests. So as a member, you'll need to be active, you'll need to be a senior engineer who already has something to give and has something to gain as well. It's going to take up to 4 hours a month, but you can participate only in quiz or only in challenge if you'd like. And you can also refer colleagues to the community as well. And right now we are opening applications, and we will have them reviewed, and we plan to start on June 17 to have our first first cohort 0 for that closed community. So if that's something that if that sounds interesting to you, please welcome. If you'll have any questions, you can also reach out to me via LinkedIn, via Slack, if you're from Yozma, and here in the chat. And I strongly welcome you because we've been on that market for a lot of years and currently looked for others, and there's no such opportunity in Ukraine yet. So be first to start it. By the way, for the curator's role, you'll also get a founding name because you will be the one who helps shape the strategy of that community and shape the learning perspectives. I'm gonna leave it for a few minutes more open chat. If you'll have any questions, so please write them down. If not, don't forget to send a cookie to Khachik if you're from Yozma in our Slack insights rather for this webinar. And
To Sasha as well. Don't forget.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. As I promised, I'll send you a follow-up next week. And if you want to be our voice as well, please join. Have a nice end of the week and a nice weekends as well. Really, the summer has started, so use it properly. Well, that's it. Yeah, I'm sending kudos to you guys. Thank you for joining and thank you for being here.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.